Welcome to The Good, the Bad, and the Sequel. This is a movie podcast where we're talking sequels, and we typically do them in two parts. We have an interview, and then the next week we do a review. But I cashed in that hall pass to be able to cover a movie that is just as bad when I saw it when I was 12 years old. And I cannot believe that it is the same. I thought maybe as a kid, oh, this movie really stunk, but maybe there'd be some redeeming qualities when I get older. No way, but it's just in time for St. Patty's Day. Talking Leprechaun in space. I thought it was only fitting after we talked to Todd Farmer, who put Jason in space. Why not talk about Leprechaun in space? And before I talk about the craziest reveal, if you thought a dog pissing on Freddy's ashes was a big deal, hold on to your butts. Before we talk about that, we got to introduce you to my partner in the sequel watching journey, Jamie Riccardi. Jamie, how are you?
I'm okay, Doug. I'm just like, you know what? I forgot this was a hall pass, and I can't believe you wasted your hall pass. This movie was like an hour and a half long,
Oof.
bad SNL skit. That's what it felt like. We've done a lot of bad movies in 6 years. This definitely cracked the top 10. And of bad movies. I mean, but this was awful. Like this it wasn't even a Leprechaun movie because he didn't do one joke. Like he didn't do one limerick. He didn't do one joke. It was awful.
He had some one-liners, but they were really bad.
But they weren't limericks.
And the results. Yeah,
Listen,
he didn't do that.
I've only seen one Leprechaun, the one we did. So I'm like, all right. So
wait.
Yes.
So this is your first introduction to the Warwick Davis Leprechaun? Oh, that's a shame.
Yes. No, well, you know what? Is the first one with Jennifer Aniston?
Yeah. And our buddy Mark Holton.
Okay, I don't remember it as much, but I think I saw that one. But this was just terrible. And
again, talk about the sequels. Like, this is the point of our podcast, is like we have the original, and then how does it get to the fourth one, the fifth one, the sixth one, the 12th one in some cases. But this one, the original one, in order to stop him, what they were able to do was throw shoes on the ground, and then he felt like he needed to clean them. He had to shine them. That was what he wanted to do.
This movie, first of all, again, I don't know much about the other three. Even the one we already reviewed, I think I already forgot it. So because this one is so embedded in my brain that I forgot what the other one was about. But this one, he dies multiple times in this movie. I mean, not even just dies, he explodes, and he just comes back every time. And and they don't explain why he's in space.
No, they do not. I don't remember the end of the third one, but I believe the third one was the one that he starts. I'm trying to think what kid it is. A kid that's in another horror movie is doing like this Hollywood. It's in LA. There's like all these tours about visiting like dead celebrities' homes or something, or where famous people died, and he is with him. So I don't know how he ended up in space from that. But before I forget this, like the original, to stop him, you throw like shoes. He has to stop and shine them. Like no matter what, he was stopping to shine these boots, and then Mark Holton and Jennifer Aniston were able to get away. This one, just what he's able to do. The fact that he has a lightsaber in a scene is insanity.
Well, why does he even need the guns? Like, he seems to have magic powers that he can do.
How about when he shoots a gun?
Yes,
it is so silly looking.
Oh, it's ridiculous. But why does he need it? Like, he seems to be able to do anything he wants, yet he's dodging bullets. He's like ducking undercover. He's like, it just doesn't make sense. Like this real. I mean, I know it doesn't make sense, but like, it's just like, I don't know. Like this, it just so over the top. Like of just like it's almost like there really was no script. They're like, let's just throw whatever we can, into this movie, and because they throw everything in this. Like, I mean, they throw every kind of thing in this movie.
Oh my god, dude! Yeah.
And I did look up the budget, and it's like $1 million point something.
Okay, at least that fits, because how bad? I'm telling you, there was a computer games that I had in the '90s that had better graphics of space than this.
Again, I think there are SNL skits that have better set pieces than this. Like this looked, I mean, so bad. It like, I mean, the CG. I mean, there was one thing the only thing that was so out of place, but it looked, I guess, funny. Was one of the deaths. And I'm sure you know which one.
Oh yeah. Okay, now that was funny, and I thought again, you saw this bad CGI but when practical was going to happen, like what you're talking about, and also when the guy transforms, that's not bad. Like that to me, the special effects, it was corny, it did not fit the movie at all, made zero sense, but at least it sort of looked good. The other stuff, like when they did the shrinko ray, when they're like, we're going to shrink the gold so it's easier to get away. That was I couldn't believe how bad it was.
Wait, that or when he got bigger and it looked like it was an old VHS tape.
Wasn't that weird? He looked like an old VHS tape and it looked horrible. And then when they cut to the next one, it's like they figured out how to do it because then it looked good. It looked good in the next part.
Well, the whole set pieces of him being a monster, like that looked okay. It just, listen, the cliches of trying to copy Alien, obviously in this whole movie. There's literally 5 actors in the whole movie, which somehow
Miguel Nunez, that dang enchiladas from Friday the 13th Part 5.
Yep. Well, he was the only He was the only one that I feel like I really recognized.
Oh yeah, Joanna Man. He had like a big movie.
Yeah, I'm saying
big movie. Yeah,
right. So he was the only one, but I mean, like, it was just terrible. It really was a bad movie, and the deaths weren't even gross. Like it wasn't even like the death scenes weren't even good. Like I don't know. It was bad. The only thing it was so over the top. It's just like the stupid doctor. Like the scientist, like the man, like that even looked like, what are they trying to do? Like it was just
Dr. Evil, dude. The fact that, like, again, we're gonna probably jump all over the place because how ridiculous it is. But when we see him from the front and he's talking and I revealed myself, and you see all the stuff, but when they show him from behind, just to be able to show that he's really a robot, which they didn't need to, then the head was moving like this.
I know. Well, listen, I thought when they first showed him and they made it look like he was on a computer screen, like talking to them, it reminded me of the genie from Pee-wee's Playhouse. Like that's how Mecca like a high, Mecca high ho guy, whatever. Like that's how cheesy it looked. It looked like a head in a box. Like that's how bad it looked. And that's all I kept thinking. I was like, oh, this is just like Pee-wee's Playhouse. Like it was just, and literally the set is like Pee-wee's Playhouse. Like it was just...
and you know what else it reminded me of too? Just the way the guy was like bald and he had that look. He looked obviously like Dr. Evil, but he reminded me of Bill and Ted, Bogus Journey. That guy, the big tall guy with the that guy, the diplomatic immunity. From Lethal Weapon 2.
He was clearly trying to do a Nazi German scientist, mad scientist.
Oh my god, the accent was so it made it not funny. Like in my head, I'm like, you know what? If he didn't have the accent, it might have been funny, but he was like going from accent to not accent.
Correct. I would just, and even his whole body of moving around a desk, but his head is able to look around a corner on like it extends out somehow. Like at the one scene, his head looks around a corner or something. I don't know. It was just, this movie was just I don't know. There was no entertaining value at all. And then I mean, the whole princess thing is ridiculous. Like that
but I did like the one scene, but not for them throwing in the 80s rules.
Oh, really?
But what she said afterwards, what that meant, which we'll get to.
Of course.
But ridiculous. Yeah.
But I mean, okay. So the storyline is the fact that he wants to marry her, but she wants to be with him because of money. But she's a princess, doesn't she have all the money that she needs?
What? She is in the. I feel like she's in the third one. Now
she's in the third one.
Let's see if I can get a quick synopsis because I don't remember that one. I remember the one where the guy, like in the sequels, where the guy was like, I want all the gold, and Leprechaun has to grant the wish, so he puts all the gold into his belly and it kills him, and then Leprechaun slices him open. So this one, that's the pawn shop owner. So that's the third one. It's Vegas. I was wrong, but
listen, I never saw Leprechaun in the Hood, and I thought that would have been like the worst one. That one has to be like a best picture compared to this one. I can't imagine that one being worse than this. Like this really is like, did they make another one after this one?
Yeah, Lep in the Hood. All of that came after this. Left in
The
the
Hood
Hood,
came
left
after
back
this?
to the Hood. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, maybe I'm wrong then. Maybe it can be worse than this. I don't know. Like, well, listen, they really scraped the bottom of this, with this one. So I can't imagine like it not being better. Did you ever see the Hood one or no?
No, I didn't. I just heard the rap
Oh.
songs that are pretty ridiculous. But the third movie got a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes, but only has 5 reviews. But
What'd this one get?
man, I don't know what this one would have got. But I don't understand why it doesn't have the end. But I do remember him being in a cave. I'm sure Egan's like ripping his hair out. But I remember that one being in a cave, like the end scene. So maybe he finds her somehow. But again, he's in Las Vegas. Why are we finding a princess from the planet, whatever? And then the fact that they're talking like there's other planets. So like, how far into the future is this? Because she's like, oh, they're from the planet so-and-so. If we save that princess, that'll give us good relations with them. I'm like, who the heck is, what is going on?
And again, she's a princess. Why does she need his money? Like, so she's willing to sacrifice the fact that he is a leprechaun that looks like a monster. She's willing to sacrifice that for money, but she's a princess. They don't have any money. She's a princess with no money.
Yeah.
Are you really?
So this movie's from the year 2096. I don't remember them uttering that year, but 2096 on a remote planet, the leprechaun courts an alien princess named Zarina. Ugh.
Can you be a princess and not have any money?
I don't think so. Well, I guess there's probably poor kingdoms, and the princess becomes a queen. Finds a rich
poor
guy.
kingdom is still richer than everybody else around them.
Oh yeah, everybody in there is eating dirt, and you're eating.
Right. You're eating rocks. So you step up. But the point is though, why does she need his? She's willing to sacrifice her life to be with this troll, than to like because she wants money. Like that made no sense.
He wants power, she wants money, and they want to kill each other.
Not only that, she's willing to kill her dad. She mentions that later on. So again, for money, which she's a princess, so she's willing to sleep with a troll and kill her dad. Okay.
Is a troll leprechaun? I don't know. I don't think so.
Oh my gosh.
I
you know what?
Trolls, goblins, leprechauns?
Yeah, but the way they make him look, he does look like a troll.
He's hideous.
I mean, he is.
Oh, dude, I couldn't stop. It was so bad. One time they did a zoom in on his teeth, and all it is marker, like dark marker to make it look. But there were so many times they must have been on set for a while that there was no sharpness to it, and it was bad, dude. It was like one was completely like barely any black, and it's like, oh, he just looks normal.
Listen, there's part. I mean, there's so many parts that you catch. Like there's a part with the crate crushes the guy or the safe, and he's not even under there. Like it looked like it was nothing there. They dropped it. It also looked like it bounced. Like it almost bounced, like it was made of rubber. Like it was terrible. So
insane.
Okay, and then listen. Think about, like, we're talking about the bad special effects. How about the Sarge's head looked like it was tinfoil? That it would look like tinfoil, but it looked like silly putty that was like smushed around the tinfoil around his head, to cover
the skin. I know, yeah.
To show the skin. It just bad, and he was annoying. Like he was trying to play that Sarge role, and it was just like way overdone.
We've covered better Sarges before. Definitely the guy that was in the dummy movie. What are the little Puppet Master? The Puppet Master guy.
Oh, that Sarge is way better. Guy. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, 100 times better.
I'll even take the Sarge from American Ninja. Or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
The guy.
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah. Yes. Ninjas.
But no, this guy was like just ridiculous. And then again, they're trying to throw. I knew right away what I was in for when the doctor comes in for the first time. The girl.
Oh,
right.
Easy on the eyes. I don't never seen her anything else, but maybe because of this movie.
Oh, very easy on the eyes. But however, they don't recognize each other. There's 5 people on that entire ship.
There's 4. I know, and it's not like she just got there. If we would have saw a ship land, then that makes sense. She's new around here. No, yeah.
There's 5 Marines and her. That's it. Like, who are you? Like, they don't know each other.
Yeah.
Because it'd be different if you saw people walking in the hallways. Like, we really don't see anyone else besides the Marines, her, and again, we go to a disco later. The same people dancing around.
Oh,
no bartender.
My God, dude.
No bartender.
What? Why? Yeah, no bartender. They were their own bartender. Why was that there?
At a disco ball. Like, you're telling me, like, you have, again, just like little things. Like, so it just shows you like how small this cast is, because there's literally, I think, 8 people. And if you're including the perverted scientist who clearly likes men, women, and aliens.
Oh, you're talking about the morgue guy? He's like, whatever. Because at one point he's like the morgue guy. Oh, you can't see the body. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what do you mean? Oh, yeah, right. But he's
How
the one that
creepy was that guy?
He said a creepy line to the guy, like or something. He said something to the guy in the beginning. Then he's licking the girl, the alien, and then he's hitting on the other girl. So like he just likes anything. Well, I guess when you're in space and there's only 7 people on your planet, you start looking.
Yeah. The guy, the Marine that was like automatically flirting with like Dr. Hottie looked like an American version of Rupert Everett. Like he was that way, and he was just, or he kind of reminded me of the Samurai Cop guy. Like he was giving those vibes of
absolutely.
Like just his lines. He had so many bad lines too. But again, he might be, and that's what happens when it comes to like the scripts. You don't know who to like look at. Like, hey, what is going on here? But man, some of the lines in this movie are so bad.
I wonder how much of it is improvised. I mean, based on the fact that, again, such a small budget, did they really have a full script? Or they're like, hey, just do it. I mean, because it really is like, again, it's like SNL skit. It just that bad. Like, I don't know. I mean, really, the only thing that looked good is Warwick Davis. I mean, the Leprechaun costume.
He always looks great. Yeah,
but he looks, but he looks the same in every one. So and how much, like, he probably has I don't know what's involved with that. Like, is it a full mask and then they added like a mount? Like, so that, I mean, he's probably using the same thing he used in the first movie. It just carries it along. So it's not really using that much money into that. But yeah.
That's probably that's probably where most of the money would go, because the set, like the walls of the planet like they were in, didn't even look like the inside of a cave. It looked like cotton candy walls.
It looked like you were like a laser tag or something. Like they looked like it was a cheesy set. Well, just look at blocks on top of blocks, and like again, it just bad. Did you notice that they always looked like they were sweating? Like they were literally sweating now, and I wonder if that was like, because they were really sweating because they had the heat on or whatever, like, or they were in some kind of storage room, and when they were filming this, and because they were sweating, like literally dripping wet, like a lot of the scenes,
and they were like blatantly wiping themselves, like with whatever they could use, arms, clothing. Yeah, now, God, dude.
Oh.
So now we have when Leprechaun, when we like see the girl, and he comes in with like a tuxedo, she's all like chained up. And he's like talking very fancy to her. Dude, she's in like a spiked bra, which is dangerous for like fornicating. Like, you try to do something, you lose an eye. And he's short, so he shouldn't be doing that to himself.
Yeah, but he probably won't even reach that high then. So that's a little.
Maybe she doesn't want him to touch it. So it's like, we know you're going to bang yourself, but if you go to reach it, you get pricked.
There you go. That's a little protection. Yeah. I mean, he has a nice romantic dinner set up for her. Like, did he? She only wanted the money. Like, did he really need to set up? I don't even think he liked her. Like, right? He like what? Because he was almost like, he was tired of her at the end of the movie.
He called her a bitch like right away. Even then, he wanted to get rid of her. Like, he did not care.
So what does he want from her?
He just wants to marry her. Remember the line where the guy says,
"Why?"
So he wants to rule the galaxy. Like, that's what he wants. And whatever planet she's in charge of, I guess, rules the galaxy. Like, everyone.
Okay. So if he thinks that's the way to rule the galaxy, what does she need his money for?
I don't understand that. Yeah.
If you're the princess that, if you get married, like you're clearly the throne that rules the galaxy, you can have anything you want, but I want the goblins or whatever, the leprechaun's gold. That's what I need. Like, that storyline makes no sense.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. And the fact that she, like, within 5 minutes of each other, we get the lines, like, even though he's like saying bitch and throwing these digs at her randomly, he says, when he's talking to the one guy, and again, we'll bounce all over the place, the guy goes, yeah, man, I'll do whatever. We could share it. And he goes, share? And then he's like, share? That means I would have to share my gold? and share my power. He goes, I'll wed her, I'll bed her, and then I'll make her deader. And he goes, I wonder if her dad will pay for the wedding and her funeral. And then 10 minutes later, 15 minutes later, she talks about, I wonder if daddy will pay for his funeral. It's like, what? Nobody's getting anything. They're not getting what they need. Like, obviously, he's the only one that needs something. He needs the power. She needs no money. She should have nothing to do with
what
him.
What does she want with him? Like, and I mean, like, and he's grotesque. So, like, what is, like, it just, like, that's why, like, the plot is so stupid.
Yeah.
Because she really doesn't need him. He has, clearly, in this movie, he has so many magic powers. I mean, like, where did he get a hazmat suit from?
Oh, wait. Where did he get a hazmat suit? How does he get onto the video? Like you said, he needs to shoot a gun and dodge bullets, but at the same time, he can transport into a video. Why didn't he transport there or put a shield in front of himself?
That's what I mean. Like, he pulls out gadgets left and right. Like, so he's like, but so what does he need her for? He doesn't, like, it's just so dumb. And yeah, I mean, like, he literally, like, I want to know what his limitation is. So as the Leprechaun, he clearly has a lot of magic power that he's able to do, make things disappear. He could transform into a naked woman, you know, what he does later on.
Again, yes. And he's able to do that, but he has to run from bullets. Like, let's just see a little bit of some of the magic that he does. This is where we see something that I guarantee anybody who wrote the original movie, if you'd have went back and talked to them at a bar and said, dude, one day the Leprechaun's going to have a lightsaber. He's going to, they would say, no friggin' way. Oh, yep, lightsaber. And a lightsaber that doesn't go through. So he has to repeatedly hack at his legs for him to fall. And somehow his head is
Look at that set. It looks like it looked like a bunch of blankets that are, like, rolled up.
And
like,
you know what's great? They always zoom in on them.
I know.
There's never any far shots, so you can't see, like, the top and the bottom. But the fact that he goes right for a gun.
Why does he need a gun? Like, and he got excited that he got a gun. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Look at that set piece. How awful is that set piece?
It's ridiculous. But yeah, and then this is where they save her, they blow him up, but then we get this part that really sets off the most ridiculous reveal or coming back in horror history.
So he can never die? Is that what it is? Like, I mean, and I go, obviously all these monsters and killers, they don't die, but, like, he literally, like, Jason never got blown up, right? Like, you know, they just basically, for whatever reason, they never tried to blow him up.
Jason Goes to Hell. That's the only time they blew him up. They did blow him up in the house in 7, but remember, it ended up like he wasn't really in there.
Okay. So, right. So outside of that one, but for the most part, like, but in this one, like, he's still alive as just a head when he's, like, buried up to his neck and when he's blown. First of all, the line was, give us a hand, and the guy throws the hand at him.
Yeah.
But, like, so, like, he dies multiple times, but then why does he have to go through? Why does he have to, like, if the guy didn't urinate on him, would he not be alive?
He'd be over. The movie would be over, because how would he get on the ship? They'd be on the ship and away.
But that's what I mean. Like, so that's the only way he can come back.
Fade to black, 15-minute movie. But just before, so Jason was in the house. Let me correct myself. He was in the house in part 7, and that's when, like, Kevin Spears, they're like, oh my God, how is he alive? And then she makes the roof fall on him, and yeah. But yeah, dude, how does the fact that the guy goes to pee on him is insane. I pee on my victims. What a sicko.
Yeah, well, you know, things are different in 2096.
Yeah. In 2096, everybody's doing it. And that's the guy we were going to interview, but I couldn't connect with him. But yeah, dude, like, and then the fact that the way that happens, like, we get Tool Time, Debbie, who we almost talked to a few years ago too. She looks great in this movie, but she shouldn't have a gun. She should not be in the military in a movie. Like, she's so bad.
Okay. So let me ask you this. So he pees on the guy, or the Leprechaun. Leprechaun possesses him through his junk.
What does it possess?
But he doesn't. Well, no. He's inside his body.
Well, he's inside of him, but he's not doing anything.
No, but he. Okay, what is he? Just sitting there? Like, what is it? Like, I mean, like, he's possessed in there. He's in there.
He's just sitting in the penis until he wants to come out. I don't know. Is that what it is? Because that's what happens.
Okay, this is my question. So he's just sitting there up until the point where he's about to have sex with the girl. So before that, he's just waiting. Like, so he can't come out unless the guy either pees or ejaculates. He can't come out again.
Yeah, it seems that way. He's just sitting there looking at his watch.
Like so he's like but he can't. He went in there as like dust or like a light. Like what? Like his soul went in there. Looked like
his soul went in there and somehow formed back into himself, and then came out only because. And she says that later in the movie, she feels so guilty about what happened. She goes, Sarge, is it my fault? Because I'm the one who gave him a boner? I think she says the word boner or erection, one of those. And the sergeant says back, no, it's not your fault. And I would love to go out that way. And what does she do? She does a look like, I'm into you now. And I'm like, what? All because he says, yeah, I want to go out that way. The same way that turned her on. This guy just died and she's already flirting with someone else.
And here's the thing. She doesn't know why the leprechaun came out of him. So for the fact that she was willing to go with Sarge, she's willing to take a chance that another leprechaun's going to come out through Sarge. Because because no one saw it go into him, so no one understood what was going on. So first of all, no one questions why a leprechaun came out of him. Like, no one. It was just the fact that this just happened, and they're just accepting it.
Oh God! When he's like, oh man, why are you touching it so hard? And she's like, she's making weird faces, and then the way he comes out of his pants.
I thought it was going to be a little bit more graphic than that. Like, I really thought it would have been like,
they had the budget for that. They couldn't have done like a ripping of that. No, I don't think they would do that.
All right.
But Lep did do something sweet when they threw the grenade into the room. That's how he died. So it's so funny. He like seemed like he only wanted to marry her for that, but he died for her because essentially, if he didn't pee on him, Leprechaun franchise is over.
Correct. But
so it's kind of sweet, kind of romantic,
very sweet. But again, she sees him come out of his pants. And then immediately she grabs the gun and goes after him. Not questioning, again, the fact that a leprechaun just came out of his pants.
Yeah, and she didn't even tell anybody, right? I feel like she mentioned the story to the sergeant. I don't remember her saying, like, oh my God, it came out from down there. Like nothing at all. Yeah.
Nothing. Like, not surprised. Again, this is 2096, so maybe like things like that happen. But she didn't seem that concerned.
Yeah, and the one line that the guy says to the guy, like, while he's peeing, I give you a round of balls, but I see you already have the clap.
Wait, he said, I'll give you a round of the balls?
Of balls instead of applause.
Oh my gosh. Oh. Yep. That's awful.
Did you notice we've been talking about like the set pieces for a while, but how about like the hospital room? Well, whatever the room she was in, there was like all those colored pipes on the wall. And I wish I could throw a screenshot of it. I can't. But I'll post it on social media at Sequels Only. There are like 3 of the pipes that aren't connected to anything. They're like supposed to be pipes that carry some kind of like steam or water or something. And there's like 2 of them just end.
This is where they were having sex?
No, this is where we're having sex. No, they were like near storage. This is when the creepy guy is talking about the girl and her hands never going to grow back. We couldn't reattach it. Yeah.
I got you. Because I was saying, like, we didn't mention the fact that when they went off to have sex, they went into the waste. What was it? The waste disposal area to have sex. So the whole area on the ship, that's the place they felt like, you know what? This is the area we should do it. In probably the most dangerous place on the ship. Let's just do it there.
Yeah,
okay.
You're a gross pig who peed on whatever. You pee on your victims. In this case, a leprechaun, a thing you can't understand. It's like, hey, let's go. Come on, let's go to our spot. Meet me at the spot.
Gosh. Well, you know what though? If they're having it in that room, a waste, now I can understand. Maybe that's how the leprechaun came out of there. It's like, toxic Avenger kind of thing. Like, maybe something gross. I don't know. Triggered.
The waste triggered him. Yeah. It woke him up.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
But you know what? One thing we talked about, like missing, like the plot not making sense. one thing again, you could always add the blonde doctor. Oh yeah, look who just arrived today. Here's so and so. Boom, we have her established that she's new. Nobody knows her. And then also, why you could have had, especially with the technology they use like video chats and stuff, you could have had her old man on a video chat with Leprechaun. It would have been so stupid, but at least it would have made sense to like the reason they're together together. Maybe the only reason she's marrying him is to piss off her dad. Something like that. But there was just no reason for her to be with him.
No, it didn't make sense. Yeah. And why was she there in the first place? Like, whose planet was that? Is that her planet or her? And why are they in a cave?
Well, I don't know what that cave was. And he just had gold and stuff sitting on tables, like random tables, not even in one room. Like the room that they were in where they were having a random meal, there was like gold in there everywhere.
Oh.
But then he had it on a random table in like some corridor.
And the jewels are like the typical jewels you'll see in Goonies and like all the pirate movies. It's like the red rubies are sticking out and like the gold. It's just like so cheesy, like it's all that fake, stuff that you could buy at Party City. That's probably what they filled it up with. So before he came out though was the disco scene, right? The disco.
Yeah, they were drinking out of the like these silly cups. They were like colorful, see-through, like pink and yellow cups.
They reminded me of like cups of like if you go to like a friend's house and the wife is like has like the glow in the dark ice cubes, and you throw them in those cups, and what you don't have glow in the dark ice cubes.
I don't. That sounds like these people they know how to get down. Hey, honey, we have company coming over. I'll get out the clip. I'll put them in the fridge.
There you go.
In the freezer.
We only take it out for the good company. You don't use it all the time. But I mean, like even the glasses didn't even look like bar glasses. They would like again, they look like you bought them like a dollar store, like those like plastic like cups. You got a dollar store, and like again, no bartender, like no one.
I know.
But a disco ball.
You know what? That would have been funny. Like that would have made me laugh if on this ship with only 7 people there was a bartender who didn't
have any lines.
Just made drink. Just pour a drink, and then that's it. No words or anything. That's it.
Right.
But did you realize, I forgot this, when he comes out of his crotch, they played like what you hear at the track.
Did they? Oh.
Yeah, dude. Like when he came out of the guy's crotch. Like, and then he's in props. Right away, he has a sheriff badge and a revolver, which he can bring out of nowhere. Again, if he's able to make these things appear, why not have like a gun, a machine gun? He's shooting a pistol.
Oh, I know. Well, how about the fact that, so are his clothes permanently on him? Like,
seems like that.
Because, I mean, he was, again, he was inside a human, and he comes out fully clothed, like with his full
and
leprechaun
not wet.
clothes.
You'd think he'd be wet, right?
That would have been funny if he was all
right?
slimy and he slings off like the gook and like, something like that. No, he just comes out fully dry and in full leprechaun clothes.
Yeah.
Okay. And his shoes look ridiculous. It looked like he's wearing those shoes, like they're like high heels almost.
Yeah.
They're like the thick heeled, like really.
Yeah,
like,
they're like the Irish. They're like the jester, like a court jester. If they have the big buckles on them, and don't they turn up?
No, but they have he had a thick heel on it, and again, maybe because he was so short, they wanted to make him look a little taller, so he had those on there. But they look like women's shoes. So
maybe he's with the princess for her shoes. Okay, she's rich. Maybe. She has all the shoes in the galaxy.
Maybe.
I don't think they would have the same size foot. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. So, well, you realize that there's only 4 sets in this movie, right? You have the laboratory, you have the disco, and you have the cave.
And you have his office, right? And his kind of like command center that he's working in at the end of the movie.
Which is basically just a room. It's not even an office. It's like one of the rooms. So it's literally 4 rooms in the entire movie. That's it.
Yeah, and then there's like the random cargo thing that they're probably using different angles. They have the one
same room. No,
yeah,
that's probably the same room as his command center. They just bring in the blocks.
Probably. No, 100%. I'm sure it is. So then that guy's being really creepy with the girl. And what's his name sees her and then realizes her hand regenerated. So he wants to keep her no matter what. in order to figure out the technology and copy the DNA. But when he catches the guy, he goes, "You are a naughty, naughty boy."
But he waited a while to say that. So isn't he naughty also because he's creeping on them?
Oh, he's the naughtiest. That guy's really creepy.
Because I mean, he's not what I expected. I thought he was behind a screen the whole time. Like I thought he was supposed to be like Dr. Evil just talking to the screen. I didn't realize that was literally like his head. Because he was right there when he comes out, and I was very shocked to see what he looked like.
I was too, and the idea was totally fine. But when they showed from behind, and it was just like a mouth, like
I know, yeah.
Well, like not even moving good. Why have him talk? Why just show the behind? No movement needed.
I'll tell you what he was when they didn't show his face. He's that bald punching thing. That's like no arms and just what I'm talking about. Like it's on.
Oh yeah. You put the sands in the bottom of it.
Yeah, that's what he looked like from behind. It literally, because it wasn't moving. Oh,
you're talking about the adult thing. I'm talking about the kid bopper thing. You're talking about that.
Yes,
you're talking about that Jack guy.
But he has no arms. He's just a bald guy and no arms. That's what he looked like from behind.
Oh my god!
They took the top half of that. They put him on a swivel chair, or whatever, and on a desk, and they just moved him around. That's what it was from the back.
Oh my god! This was in the next scene when they go into like the flesh eating bacteria room. I don't know why. I think these clips that I found online didn't get the audio, but there's a line when they look at the guy and he's like, "Is everything okay?" And he's like, "It's Mooch," and we look over and it's just the skull.
Just the skeleton. I mean, like, how'd that happen?
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Unreal. I was dying, dude. When he says it's Mooch, like she wouldn't have realized that it's Mooch because only 2 went in. It's not like she'd be like, "Who the hell is this guy?"
How long has he been there?
What happened to Mooch? Man, there was 2 guys that went in here. Now there's one guy that he looks like Marv in Home Alone when he gets electrocuted.
Yeah,
he
does.
See the skull. Oh my!
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if they used the leftovers. See, there you go.
One? Why not?
She kind of looks like a young, Pamela Anderson. Like
she does,
just a little bit. I'm surprised. Like she's not. Was she in like a lot of stuff or no?
I didn't look her up. I'll tell you. I'll check out right now. But yeah, no, I didn't see what else she was in. But I was just thinking, like, with this movie was just really.
Yeah. Well,
like one of, and to me, like I said, like sometimes there's those movies that we've covered for both of us when we watch when we were younger, and then we rewatch it again. It's like totally different. This one, to me, it's crazy that it's the same. Like when I saw this, and I thought this was 99. I don't know why.
You shouldn't have. But that's my point. Like, if you think a movie's bad when you're 10, how can it get better when you're in your 30s?
I don't know. Maybe there's some jokes I didn't get. But whoa, you know what? She's big, dude. Young and the Restless, 426 episodes.
Oh wow,
for a long time.
Okay.
And
any sequels?
Any sequels other than this? Oh, wow. She was on a show called Loving for 430 episodes. Another Diagnosis. Oh, Best of the Best 4. Get her.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, dude. Oh, she's in Catch Me If You Can. Great credits. Maybe we can get her. Jessica Collins. She looks the same.
Okay.
But yeah, no. That'd be interesting to be able to talk about her and the moment that Mooch died, and if she really needed to. But yeah, dude. So then the captain or the Sarge, he's pissed off because 2 of his guys are dead now, and he says, "I want to get off the ship." And he goes, "All right, well, your contract." He goes, "Our contract's up in 3 hours. At midnight, we're gonna take our ship and leave." And the guy's like, "Oh, but I have you until then, and with your contract, I can." And he said, like, just the haggling was getting obnoxious. And then the best is the guy goes, "Your original bounty, if you can kill this leprechaun, you get 100 times that." I'm like, that's insane. Like, were they getting paid nothing before? Because 100 times is a lot.
It is a lot. But what is the contract he had with them? Like, what was their job?
Oh, I'm guessing just to protect them in the like if they come across. Yeah, we're going to come across people. I guess if people tried to board the ship. But other than that, what are you going to do?
Well, they went to the cave and they shot that one little creature thing. before he meets the cat.
Is that what they were going for, or were they? No,
I
they were
don't.
looking for
That's
gold.
what I mean. I don't know.
They were looking for gold because that was the whole point. They found the gold and they shrunk it in order to bring it back to Earth easier. So I guess that's why they were hired as gold to protect them.
Marines
when they
are hired
went
to find
planets?
gold.
I don't know.
There's no one else there that's supposed to look for the gold.
I know
and the Marines protect them.
There should have been like an archaeologist or a scientist that was on board.
Yes, and the Marines are protecting him.
Yeah.
Okay. And by the way,
not the woman that we never met. Like they never met until this. Yeah. You're right.
Oh my gosh. I didn't realize that the doctor's heart was in a jar on the desk. Did you know that? Did you realize that? He had a jar. I didn't until the end before he transformed. I'm looking. I go, what is that jar? And it was his heart. I think it was his heart in a jar on the keyboard or whatever, the desk or whatever he had. I really think they just threw so much together. Like how much more? How can we make this as weird as possible? And how can we make him like really like make no sense whatsoever? But let's just make it like it's almost like getting like a kid's toy and building one of those things. Like, and you can build it so many different ways. And that's what they did with him. They built him in such a way where whatever they can piece together, they're gonna make him look like it because it's just so ridiculous. Like,
oh my god, yeah, no, it was
tubes.
So
he had these tubes behind him. He had the yellow things that are on the side. Like, I really, it was like ridiculous.
But we did get a great line, and I think it's so funny in all these bad movies that we cover, like Return to Sleepaway Camp. Alan with his ass line, right? What did he say? You smell like ass?
No, your ass stinks. Come on,
your ass stinks.
That's
so
the best
this
line
one
ever.
We had a good ass line in this because he goes, "If I lose any more troops,
oh my gosh,
your ass is grass. If you had an ass."
That's so. Can I ask you, where did that come from? Your ass is grass. Like, what does that mean?
Your ass is grass, and I'm gonna smoke it. I would think that your ass is grass means you're gonna knock somebody on the ground, and their ass is gonna be on the ground. I don't know.
Oh, okay. I'm just curious where that came from, because
it's insulting to grass. Grass is very important to the ecosystem.
But is it really? It's like scary to someone. Like, if you tell someone your ass is grass, okay, like like that's your big like scary. Like, I'm supposed to be scared of that. Like, all right, because they use it all the time. I just don't know.
They use that. That's like a very 70s.
If you're gonna get in a fight with someone and they said, "Doug, your ass is grass," you're gonna laugh at them. You're like, seriously?
What are you talking about?
You're such an idiot. I can't even fight you because you're an idiot. Like, like something like that. Like,
oh my god, dude. So then we get, this is when they split off because now it's 100 times and they're like, all right, everybody, we have equity. Whoever survives, again, he doesn't want people to lose. But he talks about like everybody gets a piece of the pot, whoever makes it out of here. So now they break up and we get, so Enchiladas, Miguel Nunez Jr., who does not age, really.
Yeah.
He looks exactly the same. He does in 85, which is crazy to think about. But him and Danny are together, and Danny's death is so corny, but it was silly. Like the safety, like somehow Leprechaun transports himself to a TV. At first, he's playing hide and go seek with him, kind of like, "Oh, Danny boy," and he was pretty funny. But when he goes to the TV and he's wearing the hard hat and he's like, "You have to be safety in the workplace," and he starts chopping his fingers off with ginormous cartoon scissors.
Well, okay, the Danny boy, like they never used that before.
In the movies? I don't think so. Maybe they finally were like, dude, we're in the 4th movie. We didn't name a character Danny?
No,
I don't know. I don't remember that scene. It might have been in something, but yeah.
Okay. Oh, my God. Again, I want to know what's the limitations of a leprechaun, of their magical powers.
None.
Like, what can they bring up? Because, I don't know. I just
he can conjure everything. How again?
Everything.
To go back to what he can do. Why, when the grenade's on the floor, he doesn't just hit a point to it and it disappears?
Correct. He can make anyone explode. Like he can just point them and explode them. Like again, and the fact that he found a hazmat suit or he just conjured one up.
No, he conjured it up. What do you mean? He didn't. I hope he's not walking. Unless that'd be great if we just saw it one time that he really drags around like a big trunk. Like, what's his name and does it in planes, trains, and automobiles?
The Munchies or the Critters, they had college outfits.
Oh, and Ghoulies. Wow, dude, you're mixing up a lot of things.
They're all the same.
God, the Ghoulies. Oh, my gosh. They both just turned off the podcast.
critters, ghoulies, munchies, they're all the same.
Goblins. Oh, wow. Munchie.
Hobgoblins.
We need to do hobgoblins. That's what we need to do. We have not done that yet.
Wait, that's a movie. Wait, there's a movie Hobgoblin?
Yeah.
Wait. What is a hobgoblin? I mean, outside of being is it not a goblin?
Hobgoblin, it's a mythical creature, so it's like a legit thing. Is there a sequel to Hobgoblin?
Wait, so Goblin... Wait.
Oh, there was a Hobgoblins 2 that came out in 2009.
Wait a second. Goblin wasn't good enough, so they have to make it Hobgoblin?
Oh my god, we have to do this. It's like a girl that looks like a Girl Scout on the cover, and it's 2 hobgoblins behind her. Oh,
does the hobgoblin look like a goblin?
Yeah. It kind of looks like a cat goblin. It looks like a ghoulie. It looks like the cat ghoulie.
All right. After this, I need to know the difference between a hobgoblin and a goblin. So any of you
gotta cover it.
Any of you goblin nerds out there that can tell me the difference between a hobgoblin and a goblin, or it's probably a Dungeon and Dragon thing or something.
At Sequels Only, let us know. Goblin, troll, hobgoblin, ghoulie, munchie.
I like the voice you used in the beginning of that, like, as if you were playing Dungeons and Dragons. At sequelsonly.com.
At sequelsonly.com. Yeah, so then we have... So at this point, how about this? So you have a killer leprechaun chasing you around, and he's with the hot blonde doctor. Like, they know something's around that can kill them, and he's staring at her ass. Like, he's staring at her ass go up the stairs for way too long. He should have died right there. Or somebody should have died like that.
100%. Well, what also doesn't make sense in this is why they so bent on... They already lost a bunch of their own people. Why do they care so much about protecting the princess?
Yeah.
The whole movie, and even at the end, they're still like, they can't leave her. They're trying to save her. Like why? Like,
well, they don't know you know what's funny? They never realized why they were working on it. They didn't know that the reason he wanted to keep the princess was alive because she can regenerate herself. Because remember what the guy did, Dr. Evil, when he finally comes out and the guy's like, oh my God, I never thought you looked like this. I didn't even know you were on the ship. And the guy takes a piece of his skin and he mixes it with that DNA. And then you get the worst graphics ever. It goes from skin to a finger, a floating finger.
So he knew the whole time that she could do that? Like his goal was to get her on board, or realized
he didn't know. It was like an amazing thing.
Okay.
It seemed that way because I think it was a shock that they found Leprechaun in her, because he was like, oh, I guess we can use her. Because at first he said, let's give her back, because that's all it seems like he wants. But then he realized, look what happens with it.
So tell me how that... So I'm thinking, if he's going to use her to regrow legs and everything else, wouldn't he have like women's legs?
No, I think you use your own thing. So the finger thing to me makes sense. You use your skin on your finger, and somehow that knows, oh, I'm finger skin, and it turns into a finger. But he has no legs. So does he have his legs stored somewhere that he can use a piece of his leg?
I thought he was going to use her DNA and create legs, like scrape it off her, make her legs.
I would love that. See, that would be funny to me if they showed him walking around, and I know it looked bad the way the graphics were in this movie, but it was half him, half legs, or even just show under a desk, something. But the fact that we just saw him in a box.
Well, you kind of have that because you have the sergeant address later.
Oh, dude. And the fact that he was spoiler, he was a cyborg the whole time, and they were like, oh my God, best damn Marine I ever knew.
They didn't know? So
yeah, how could they not tell?
Yeah.
The guy didn't eat probably, right? Can they eat?
Listen, they were there when his head got blown off. That was a part of it. So how did they not know that he had metal under there? That's all. Unless it was just stories and no one really was there when he saved them. Because wasn't that the whole thing? That he saved them? That's why okay.
Yeah.
So they didn't know before then he was... And then when they were doing surgery on him, they didn't know that either.
Or he
didn't realize that he wasn't bleeding.
Then, and then they put him back together. Maybe he died.
It's like RoboCop.
They put him back together and said everything's fine.
It sounds like RoboCop.
It's RoboCop.
See, he's RoboSarge.
They sprinkle. Oh man, what can we do with this guy? Sprinkle a little RoboCop.
Robo Sarge.
Robo Sarge.
So back to what we were saying. So, it would have been funny because he has no torso if he just did our legs, like I said. And so the legs go up. I'm trying to think. Oh, that's almost like, you ever see the video for Herbie Hancock's Rocket? The raps. You don't know, like it's like
I know Herbie Hancock. I don't remember. I never watched a Herbie Hancock.
Well, the video is all these like robot things, and there's one part where these two legs are like moving back and forth like this, no body, and that reminded me of that. So it'd be funny though if the legs were attached to the top of the desk, the bottom of the desk. He still had the desk there, but he's got no torso, so it's literally like just his chest, like his nipples down to his legs. That's basically what it would be.
It's like a Beetlejuice in the waiting room. The girl's split in half, and and the legs are sitting next to her.
Okay.
Oh my God, dude! But one thing, how did the fire get started?
What fire?
Remember all the pipes that are in that room? There's like these giant pipes, and one gets like knocked over, and then there's a fire starting, because that's why those two, because they see the leprechaun, the blonde and the other guy, like Samurai Cop. They see the fire, they run away, and then that's where Lep and Danny, and you do the workout thing, so bad, dude. And then when he drops the thing on him, closer, come closer, come closer, and then he says, smashing, simply smashing.
So bad. It's so bad. I mean, really. Oh my gosh.
God.
Wait,
dude.
did we get the flat face yet?
No, that's like at the end of the movie. That's
like I knew so. I'm close to the end of my notes.
Oh, I'm sure. No, there's really not that much, because it's actually pretty close. So the next part is when they all are like, let's get together, and they go in the elevator and they go up, and Tool Time comes out first, and that's it. She's by herself, and then they don't follow her right away. She's like across this terrible
Why didn't they
bridge.
follow? Why didn't they?
I have no idea.
Her?
She was like, the coast is clear. He pops out of nowhere. He licks his lips in a zoom in shot. The door is closed. They're not able to open it. And then he kills her so easy. Like, he hangs her over the edge, and it's like, wait, what?
Well, he was hammering her fingers or something like wasn't he like, no, was he cutting them, or he was doing something?
No, he was just doing the
lifting.
Bleep, bleep. The very cartoon. And then she let go for a second, because they probably didn't have a green screen far, far away. It was probably maybe like a floor, because they cut away and she's
she's already down there.
Well, she's not dead.
Well, no,
What's
she's
her
not.
line?
She had one last breath.
A very Rocky 2-ish line. She goes.
She said something like, kill him for me, or something like that, or kill him,
kill him. And then Tina grabs the gun. The doctor that said she never used the gun before, never touched the gun, just like Paul Kersey.
She took it with authority. She took it with authority.
She says, let's get that son of a bitch.
So all the other ones that died, she was okay with. But this woman, who I don't even think she had two words with. I don't think she spoke to her once. Now she's angry.
Do it for women. I mean, that's what she's doing it for.
Was she the last woman now? She was the last woman. Now,
yeah, there's only two women.
Tool Time is the last one.
Oh, no. The princess.
There's three.
You can't her. But out of the Marines, it's just there's one female Marine.
I got you. Okay. Well, wasn't there one female Marine in Aliens?
No.
Sanchez.
On the ground? No, there was...
No.
There was Sanchez, there was Ripley, there was the pilot.
First of all, Ripley was not a Marine.
Well, she was fine. It doesn't matter. She was there. At least it was...
But she was the doctor.
Yeah, it was
She's the doctor. She's literally like the doctor of Tool Time. She's the Tool Time, they clearly copied her as Ripley.
And she was like, let's get him. How about the fact that the lab... So in the lab, they're working on the princess. They're doing the splicing, the doctor, and the creepy morgue guy. There's a doorbell.
I know.
So the doorbell goes off. A video camera comes up, and it's the blonde naked.
So again, like in a movie that you would have expected some nudity, which I guess they had to throw us a bone later on. They didn't show anything.
Pun intended.
Pun intended. But yes, like that. No question. You got you had the creepy scientist. I mean, he knew exactly what would have gotten. Again, he's all over the place. That guy, right? I mean, he's like this.
How quick he goes to open the door.
Didn't hesitate. Yeah, didn't hesitate.
like in his really, maybe from being in space for so long, he has
said that before.
Space nut. He's a nut because he really believes that girl, how beautiful she is going to be like, you know what, this is who I want to, and right there, not like, hey, let's go to your room or go to do something,
or not even questioning why. No, what should you say? He ripped my clothes off. The leprechaun ripped my clothes off. Well, he kind of does later on. I mean, so right? He takes her pants off, doesn't he? Or no, the spider does, right? Or the spider?
The spider rips her pants off. Yeah.
Okay. So
the Spider-Man. And then that's at this point. This when Leprechaun hides outside when the guy goes out to look around, and he pops out, and he doesn't kill that guy right away. He just like knocks him out. He hits him with the shillelagh in the head.
So the door. So if the leprechaun couldn't come in there unless someone opened the door, why didn't they just all hide behind a door and not open the door again?
Yeah, that doesn't make it. Like he could have just floated in. He put himself onto a TV. Like
he went through a guy's junk. He couldn't go through a door.
Yeah. Wait, does he knocks the guy out, right? And then talks to the doctor. The guy gets up to do something.
The doctor and him have this like little like back and forth dialogue, of like evil versus evil.
Oh, well,
kind
he
of
laughs
thing.
at him. He makes fun of him because he's small. But when does he put the shillelagh? He says, "Hold on to this for me," and he shoves it, I guess, up his butt. But
it doesn't
through
have
the front. No, not him. To the creepy Morgue guy. Remember, because the guy's on the ground.
Yeah. He does through the front. No, he does it through the front, I think.
That's what I mean. It's like it hits his crotch, and it's like pinching it, and there's like a knife at the end. Somehow he gets up, and while they're having their back and forth talking crap, you can see the Dr. Evil guy making eyes, like really giving away that somebody's behind him. But dude, like you said, out of all the stuff that was so bad in this movie, the pancake face when he hits him with the pan.
It was such a Hot Shots top secret naked, not even Naked Gun, Hot Shots and top secret, like gag. Like, again, it was just so goofy. Like it was just really so stupid, but it was funny just because it was just so dumb. Like it was silly. It was so silly.
No, I liked it, but it made me laugh. I'm like, all right, cool.
Of course it made you laugh. Like, because again, it was just so like, it was, first of all, it was unexpected, right? I mean, is this considered a horror movie or no? Like, what is this considered?
Yeah, it's a horror. It's not. To me, it's not, but it is a horror movie. Because that's
okay. So they had some deaths that they really didn't show anything. So I expected, I thought maybe his face would be implanted, like mushed against the metal of the pan or something.
They went silly, dude. You mentioned before ghoulies. Just think ghoulies go to college. What happens with that girl when you're like, oh, this can be a crazy kill? Remember, her face gets like stuck to the thing and pulled out. Yeah. Oh, the toilet plunger. Her face. So it's very like cartoony the way it gets to.
It was.
But the princess wakes up, and within seconds, she immediately wants not Dr. Evil dead, tells Leprechaun what he's been doing. So what they do is they take all of that DNA mixture that's from her body, and they start they put it into like a cocktail, and then randomly in this lab, there's a scorpion and a tarantula.
So in the beginning of lab, they had those same things. They showed like a clips of the scorpion tarantula in the beginning of the movie.
Oh, in the beginning of the movie? Okay.
Yeah. So when you first see the scientists, you see them. So again, because why would they have aliens? They went to the nearest pet shop and grabbed anything that they can grab and throw it in there. So they did show it. So they were in the beginning of the movie. So it wasn't just like random there. Or again, randomly there in the beginning of the movie. But the leprechaun knows how to make like a special drink like that. That it's gonna make.
Well, I don't know if he knows. He it looks like our pal, our Hollywood bug expert Steven. I wonder if he would think of what happened in the scene, because it looks like they throw the scorpion in there, and it looks like they throw the tarantula in there. Like
they do. I mean,
so they killed two bugs.
I don't know if any animals were harmed making the scene. But yeah, maybe your buddy knows.
They blended it and then made him. Then they shoot it into him.
In his
How
head.
bad was that?
Wait,
dude,
they put it in his head.
No, not in his head. It was like this bad. It was really far behind his head. It was on this angle. If you guys are watching, and then later, like when they cut back to it, it's perfectly in the back of his head. So he put it in the side of the back of his head, and then somehow he perfectly changed. I'm like, how do you miss that?
Ugh. Just thinking about putting a needle like that in your head to begin with. But like he's a cyborg. So is he a cyborg, or was he real at one point?
Yeah, he was just a head. that was running. Yeah.
Okay, so
on a machine.
So was he human at one point?
Yeah. No, I believe he was human. Yeah.
Okay, so how did he lose his entire body?
in the War of 2044, it's something ridiculous. Again, could they have
I want to know
that
backstory. I want to know that backstory.
Spin-off movie just of not Dr. Evil.
Just how he becomes a walking desk.
And also, does he have the ball gag, or does Leprechaun walk around?
Oh my gosh!
He put a ball gag in the guy's mouth.
He put the gimp. He had the gimp gag, ball gag. Yeah. Again, the Leprechaun is. It's like he has that magic suitcase. They could just pull anything out of there, whatever he wants. Like, why did he even need the ball gag?
I don't know. Does it matter if people scream? You're the Leprechaun. You are like the world's greatest magician.
There's only 4 people on there, and there's only 4 people there. So what are you worried about?
You want them to come towards you so it's easier for you to find them? Because in the next part is when they have like another shootout, and I'm like, how are Marines not out shooting? They have like machine guns, and he has a pistol, and then that's when Tina, she gets acid all over herself, and
they don't hit him
water
once.
all over. Yeah,
they don't hit him once.
They get shot. They get shot.
No,
the Marine gets shot.
Yeah, but the Leprechaun doesn't get hit once. Not once.
Yeah. How bad was it when the Marine got shot? Because he didn't. We could know he got shot because he was taking his shirt off, and I hope for no reason. But obviously there was a reason. But he's taking it off very casually, and then he's like, "Ugh." I'm like, shouldn't you have been making sounds like while you're taking it off? There was no like blood on the shirt. It was like he took it off, and then it was like, cut to, now let's show the cut.
And let's be honest. I mean, it really wasn't that bad. Considering, I mean, yeah, look, we've seen Commando and Rambo have like, Rambo had like an arrow shot through his like stomach to one side or the other. You know, the Marine looked like he had like just a little like scratch compared to like these guys.
Yeah. And then now Sarge is being controlled by the Leprechaun. He like puts him under some trance. So if he can do that to him, can he do it to everybody, or can he only do it because he's like a cyborg?
He's a robot. So maybe he found the remote control.
So he can't do it to people?
Well, he found the remote control for Sarge. Sarge was on like a remote control. The Dr. Evil probably was controlling him
the whole time. Man, how does he do both? So he was arguing with. He set up that argument. Wait, no way.
I want to know how the Leprechaun was able to get the ball gag on Dr. Evil. Like how did that? First of all, he's too short. Did he does he jump up there and the Dr. Evil not be able?
The princess probably helped out. She was awake, so she reaches the stuff on the top shelf for the Leprechaun.
Yeah, but he's got 2 arms. Dr. Evil has arms.
I know he does. I'm saying he's not tall enough. That's what I mean.
No, but he couldn't. He didn't like. Did he put up a fight? Like, does he like roll away?
Does Dr. Evil put up a fight? He has no arms.
I thought he did have arms. That's what I'm saying. He didn't have arms?
Oh, does he have? Oh, he does. You're right. Yeah.
He has arms. Yeah.
So
how do you think he moves around?
His arms.
I'm saying he didn't try to. He didn't roll away. He didn't try to roll away.
Imagine that chase scene. Just him going. Oh my god, that would have been horrible, dude. And then now the breast reveal scene when she's giving a speech, talking to them. She shows her boobs. She takes off her spike bra. And then the guys are like, again, this guy who's into the doctor is like, hey, whoa, this is pretty nice, right?
Does it matter who you're into? I mean, the boobs are boobs.
I know, but he's kind of like likes that girl, it seems like.
Oh, so he's not. Wait. So you're saying that he shouldn't look because he likes the other girl?
No, I didn't say look, but he did like a hey.
Okay, but let's be honest. The other girl is really not paying attention to him anyway. She kind of passes him off, doesn't she?
She was mean to him, but they were kind of getting closer here. And again, this is only over. They've known each other for an hour.
Well, there's also only like 2 guys left. Enchilada and him, right? So that's it.
That's it. Yeah. And Leprechaun, maybe that's the twist. She was involved with him the whole time. Maybe
could be.
But when she says, "Guys, in her country, if you get shown breast by royalty, it means you're gonna die."
Lethal? No, it's lethal or something like that.
It's lethal?
I think she said lethal.
It's like what?
Listen, if that's how I'm gonna die, there's worse ways to die.
That is true. Well, the way that she wants to kill them is the worst way. I want you to boil them. I'm like, oh my god, dude. She is sick.
But where would you boil them from? You're on a spaceship.
What do you mean? He snaps his fingers, giant witch's cauldron.
That's it.
Filled with potatoes and broth and carrots and onions, ready to go. And then we cut back to Sarge in the bar where he has them captive.
Oh my gosh.
He's doing like a drag show.
Why? Like, that was so stupid. It really was stupid. Like, that made no sense.
Yeah.
But I just thought of this. What if the princess is really a leprechaun, like Shrek?
Oh, could be.
And that's why he wants to marry her, because she doesn't want to be a leprechaun anymore, and she's a princess like Shrek, Fiona.
Oh, so you're saying they get married, she turns into a leprechaun.
She turns back into a leprechaun.
Oh, okay. But she does want to get married because she
wants
him to die.
Money. Well, she wants the money.
But why does she need that? They run the galaxy.
I know.
What's her name makes it seem like they're the most powerful people in everything.
It makes no sense.
Yeah. But
so,
the line, I got it wrong. It wasn't that she said, "I wonder if Dad will pay for the funeral," or she goes, "I'll give him a splendid funeral." So why get married? You're already planning Hey, what are you doing? What are you writing down over there, honey? Oh no, just getting some estimates for what?
So stupid.
Funeral.
So back to Sarge. So what was the purpose of the scene?
No, no reason.
Outside of finding out that he's a cyborg, which they could have done it any other way, why make him and he's a robot, and they kind of gave him a split personality, flipping back and forth from being.
So it's like the controls broke, I guess.
Yeah,
because he was going back and forth, and it was to emasculate him to show a Marine. I don't know.
But it first of all, it went on way too long. Like, it was like a long scene.
A lot of those did that. The argument back and forth, just things could have been cut. And I'm not saying they would have been better, but it would have been tolerable.
No,
so
it would have been better.
And forth that it
would have been better. It would have been better. It would have been shorter. The movie would have been shorter, so it would have been better. So that's it.
The finite runtime would have been shorter. It would have been better. Yeah.
But yeah, just this whole scene just really didn't make sense. Like, I think they thought it would have been funny because the way the Marines were trying to interact with Sarge and deal with it. I think they thought it was a funny scene, but it wasn't funny at all. It just dragged, and it dragged. See?
Pun intended. Two pun intended. Nice. I like it. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It was just dumb. It was just
honestly a lot made no sense.
Filler.
But
it was filler.
Oh,
it was
totally no. That's probably why a lot of these scenes went, especially that one. There was no reason for it. But out of all the things we talked about that make no sense, this is a trope that bad guys always do. And then what's different with Leprechaun and Chucky versus all the other, well, besides Freddy, I guess most of them, do talk, but the ones that don't. In this, how dumb he is when they find the spaceship to get off. They're like, oh, she goes, the gold's in the cargo bay. I know where it is. Let's get out of here. Let's go on the ship. And he goes, okay, fine, but I'm going to stop them first. So he hits a bunch of buttons. It stops their access, which we could talk about that in 1 second. But before, why does he start the detonation of the ship to explode before he has the gold? 15-minute timer, and he's still going to keep looking.
And it's only one ship on there on.
It seems like it is only one ship, their ship, the ones that they were going to leave in the Marines.
Right.
Yes.
So why did he even need to stop them? They're not going to be able to get off the. They don't even know what planet the princess is on. If they left to go to the princess's planet, they would have no clue where they went.
I guess I'm sure by 2090 they have GPS, some kind of GPS.
But they wouldn't. I don't think they would know. I'm saying but how would they know? Because they don't know. Do they know she's even a princess or what planet she's from?
Yeah, they know. What's her name? The doctor says it. She says the exact planet. It starts with the letter.
Okay.
I feel like it starts with the letter P or something. But no, it just.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just so ridiculous. So you're saying
the
whole part.
Every movie, every bad guy does this. They set the detonator off before they get off, and they always get stuck. With it blowing up in their face, it just
you got to do it in the best movies and the worst movies.
Every movie they do
all
it.
The greatest ones they always tell, and even in something as silly as Iron Eagle 4, the guy explains the whole plan of what they're going to do. We're going to put these kids in a room where it is, and then the girl touches a computer, and then they get away.
It happened in Beverly Hills Cop and every movie.
Yes.
So maybe maybe the detonator doesn't work unless you're in the room with it. Like if you like, otherwise, why wouldn't you fly to wherever you got to go and then push a button once you're in your plane, in your spaceship?
Yeah,
then hit it. Never. Like yeah.
No, not at all. But how about, again, talk about the set pieces? Usually when somebody scans something in a movie and it doesn't work, it's red. It must have been, they only had a green bulb because he scanned his thing and it went, oh, and he goes, access denied. And it was a green like light that flickered. I'm like, that's not how that works.
Well, he also had a green lightsaber.
Well, his friend
It is Leprechaun. What? But he's Leprechaun, so he has green everything.
You think he turned the light to go into the doors?
I just think that's their gag. He's a Leprechaun. Everything's gonna be green.
Unreal,
So
dude.
yeah, it doesn't make sense.
And they're talking smack back and forth. She makes fun of him and laughing at him because he wants to find the gold and it's tiny. She says, "Oh, that's your gold," and she's like giggling at him. And then he knocks her out with the shillelagh. Well, at the same time, he made her face gross with all the like pussy dips.
She made a comment about her looks.
She said that she's the most beautiful in the galaxy, and he's hideous.
Yes. So again, if he could do that, I mean, like, what's his limit? Like, what is his limit that he can't do? So, and how long does it last? Like, does it like, so those boils on her face, do they only last for an hour and they go back to normal? Or
he made it go off because he said, ew, disgusting, when she was passed out, and then he made him go away. So he was grossed out about it. No, he can do anything in this movie.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. So and just like, and again, to talk about the doctor who turns into like this spider scorpion creature, and I'm thinking he's going to kill Enchilada. He is like, I don't know what he's doing because Enchilada is really not bleeding, but he has webs around him that are red.
Wait a second. So I was so confused in the scene because, I mean, I at first, when I saw Enchilada, it looked like he had a bunch of meat hanging on him, like over his shoulder. I thought he killed the spider, and that was like the guts that are laying all over him. But it wasn't, because the spider was breaking through the glass where she was crawling through. Yeah. So what was on him? That was supposed to be the guts or something.
Oh, what was on him? It was the web. He was getting wrapped in a web until she was making sounds because he's a spider.
But I know, I get that. But when he was at the computer with all the meat hanging on him, that was web?
Yeah, it was like red colored web, but he wasn't bleeding. Like he didn't have blood on his shirt or anything. I know. It was like they forgot to do that, but they only colored the web to make it seem like it was starting to eat him.
It looked like it was exploded carcass on him. That's what it looked like. Yeah. Like if you carved like a deer and the insides and you put them on, that's what it looked like. It was hanging on him. That's what I thought it was. I thought it was guts on him. But the thing is, it kept flopping around. Like it was so poorly placed on him. Like it looked like almost like it looked like a vest. It looked like a web vest that he was wearing. Like it was so bad.
Oh my God. Yeah, it was hideous. The fact that he wasn't killed, the fact that the scientist seemed like he had his stuff together, because when he was typing on the computer, it seemed like he was, and somehow he had fingers. He still had fingers. Everything else changed, but he had fingers.
Correct.
The fact that he's typing on the computer and he's like kind of like normal with everything, but then when he sees who he's seen for a while, the guy that's been
like an insect.
Yeah. Yes, and he tries to kill him, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah. And why didn't he kill Enchilada?
I think he was trying to, but then what's her name? The doctor distracted him when she was running away. I don't know.
Okay. All right.
So bad. And the fact that the leprechaun gets startled at this point. So he's able to do all these amazing things, but he can't tell that there's somebody right behind him, and he gets scared. He gets scared by the Marine, the samurai cop. He goes, ah! And he drops the Tupperware with the gold in it. And then this is where it gets crazy, dude. The fact that somehow she says, cover me, which is insane. After the other guy gets shot, she just runs up. She's never used a gun before, but she's able to sneak to him. Her gun is out of bullets, and then she is able to get to the shrink ray, and then somehow it turns. Like a shrink ray should not be called a shrink ray. It should just be called like a ray, and then there's different settings on it, because it easily can flip to enlarge.
Does every shrink ray have that opposite?
Yeah, but somehow he does it, because doesn't he do that with one piece of gold to show that it worked? It shouldn't have that.
Correct. So what would be the need to do that? But would you even trust him to cover you, knowing that they haven't made one kill or one shot yet as a Marine?
They haven't connected on
their aim has been
Leprechaun
awful.
yet.
I don't know if I would trust him covering me. Like when she said that, I'm like, maybe you should cover him and let him run. You probably a better shot. I mean, clearly she knows karate.
Oh my God, dude, she does know karate. Yeah, she does do karate at one point. And when he gets big for the first time, like we talked about how grainy and bad it was at first, but then it looked good. Like when we saw it cut, then I'm like, this isn't bad looking. But he goes, all right, big is good.
Well, he looked down his pants. That's so stupid.
Gross. Yeah. And and what does he say to other people now that he's big now? He becomes a bully. He says, so where are you at, short ass?
Yeah, this, I mean, for the budget was, it did make it look like he was bigger and the Marine was like behind these small, like big blocks. Like, I think they did as best they could with this. So it wasn't terrible. Like, honestly, this set piece was probably the best part.
I actually liked the end of the movie. I thought there should have been more than him looking for him. Like, I thought there should have been something else that happened because it made no sense. Like, even the Dr. Evil Spider guy, he's about to, he somehow is sneaking up on the girl. She's able to get away, and he points liquid nitrogen. Again, I don't think a liquid nitrogen is on a spray. Like, when you squirt like Windex. I'm sure it's only on jet mode because spray would be very dangerous. And somehow the guy, he freezes, and then she goes, I'm sorry. He's frozen. Just leave him, right? She has to make him explode. And he explodes from one shot. Like,
look at what he looks like. Why would you keep him?
I don't know.
He's a monster.
Maybe he can survive once you're off the ship.
Wait, leave him and then let him melt and then he comes after you?
No, you're going to be gone by then, I would hope.
He's a monster. So how about, like, why didn't the Marine use the ray on him and get himself big and he could have had a fight with the Leprechaun?
Dude, that would have been great.
Okay?
That would have been awesome.
See, it would have been like a King Kong and like Godzilla kind of moment. And they have all these blocks there. That would have been good. See, that's what he should have done.
Or even if they got to be the same size. Because if he was a lot taller than Leprechaun, then his head would go through. But that would have been awesome. Like just a boxing match?
No, dude,
like no joke. But the Roddy Piper fight scene from friggin'
right. Something like that. I think.
Give me that.
Maybe he'd have medium because large would make him taller. So medium puts him the same height as the Leprechaun.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I thought that something like that was gonna happen, or let her get bigger. That would have been good.
Yeah. But then the princess, Samurai Cop, like gets to the princess. She is somehow in some drunken state from being knocked out. She wants to marry him, and I think the most ridiculous.
Doesn't the doctor turn him away? Well, maybe I'm thinking of another movie. I could be thinking of another movie. I thought that. Oh wait, you know what? I am thinking of something different. Never mind. I just watched something where the doctor, someone turned. Oh, I just watched Hard Eyes. It was like this doctor was.
Wait, you confused those two movies. They're bleeding, and then remember the part in Hard Eyes where the leprechaun like went into the TV screen?
I'm not saying anything. I'm not giving any spoilers away. But the Leprechaun is pretty big.
Leprechaun is big in it.
Yeah. See, now it would have been in a better movie. But yeah,
dude, the worst part of again, we talked a lot of bad things, and again, I know comic relief. Sometimes you try things and they might be funny, and I'm sure they think fits with the tone of these movies how silly they are when they're trying to figure out the password.
Oh my gosh!
And Miguel Nunez thinks like he splits the atom with the answer. Try scientist.
So how did they come up with the password that they used? Was it
said,
wizard?
What did he say? What did he say the first time we met him? What did he introduce himself as? And they're like, a wizard. He called himself a wizard. And then they typed it in.
I don't even remember that.
I don't remember that, but
I don't think
want
he
to
did.
Go back and check.
I was going to say, I don't think he did, to be honest with you. I think that scene was probably cut because I think you would remember if you said the name wizard in the movie, and I didn't hear that once. So I think they cut that scene, so it made no sense.
They type it just in time, and
of course.
Or no, just before this is when they did the right at that time was when the pod bay doors open. They were able to open the doors at that point, and you see the leprechaun. And the princess kind of like gives like a smile, like a bye bye, like she's smirking through like these little peaks in the glass.
It would have been funny if she was in there and she gave him like she kicked and like loosened his hand, like and kicked him out the door or something.
Pick the fingers off of her. That would have been pretty good.
The other one who knew karate does some kind of karate kick and gets him out the door.
Yeah,
I mean the leprechaun is massive right now. He didn't have the strength to hold on.
I guess space. They say it's all the movies. Just think of Aliens. How crazy it is. It's ripping what's his name in half. Well, he's already ripped in half, and
Oh, yeah.
But but how about he explodes
again? This is the third time.
And again, he couldn't have again at that point. He couldn't have been like, oh no, I'm getting sucked off a ship. Transport to TV. Transport to other room,
or like a rope that hold on to, or something like that. Yeah.
He didn't even turn yourself into the sheriff cowboy again. Get a lasso and hang on.
It looked like he didn't try at all. Like it literally looked like he didn't try.
He gave up. Maybe he just gave up, and he did the middle finger. He explodes, and it is the finger that's not attached to his body anymore. He turns into a middle finger, and they say right back. What do they say? Right back at you, buddy.
Is it the second time his hand was left his body? Like in the beginning movie, he lost his hand, right? That's what he said. Give me here's a hand. That's in the beginning. The guy says,
no,
give him
here's
a
hand. That was her hand, because then that's how the whole DNA thing started.
Oh, I thought
she
it was
didn't have a hand.
Okay.
And the reason she didn't anymore was they couldn't put it on ice because the Marines were throwing it at each other.
I got you. Okay.
Very professional. Peeing on the victims. Again, they're bad guys. Gosh. But you're going to throw around the limbs like it's like a hot potato?
Well, that's when you get the one-liner, so it makes it funnier.
Yeah.
So, and then the movie just ends.
It ends, and then they're all in the room together. It's Samurai Cop, the blonde, and Enchiladas. And then all I thought was, where's the princess? She was in that cargo thing by herself. She wasn't with them.
I thought she came out and she didn't come out?
No, she was still locked in that thing where the ship was.
Oh my gosh.
So that was it. And that's how it ended.
Like Enchilada should have ended up with the princess.
Yeah.
That would have been, oh my gosh. Yeah, and then it just ends. Like it just ends. Like there's no like I don't know. This movie was absolutely terrible. Like it was really bad. Like I mean, like I before you even ask me, I'm going to tell you, no one should ever see this movie. It's way too bad. Go to YouTube, and if you look up like if you want to look up some of the kills, or look up the smash face, or whatever, fine. Look up the doctor. Like
it's all on YouTube.
Yeah, I would not. It wasn't easy to watch. It wasn't easy to watch.
Yeah, no, it was not fun.
But
it was perfect for St. Patty's Day.
Well, there's other St. Patrick movies we could have done. I mean, you realize
which other ones? 2, 3, Lep in the Hood. We could have done one of those.
There's got to be other Irish sequels. There got to be an Irish sequel out there.
Boondock Saints 2?
No, Green Street. That's English.
Hooligans. They made 2.
They made a second one.
Okay.
But that's English.
See the first one.
Oh, first one's like brutal. Like it was all. I mean, it's a good movie, but it's all fighting. Although it stars what's his face from Lord of the Rings. What's his Frodo.
Elijah Wood. Oh yeah, that is true. Yeah,
but I mean, okay, but all right, that's not that crazy. That's not that crazy.
All right, Bradley.
You look
Cooper,
more like the Leprechaun. So
ooh,
you know what? I wonder, are there other Irish movies out there? Like,
sure, there's Irish movies, but
no, sequels?
Irish sequels? I don't know. Irish. It had to be St. Patrick's Day.
Blarney
Stone. Probably not.
There's no Blarney Stone sequel?
Stone 2, Electric Boogaloo? I don't think so.
There you go.
But it's a shame. Like, I enjoy the first one because it's so original, and it is really silly in the sense, but it's like grounded. It doesn't have the crazy as this one. Even the second one starts going off the deep end, but this movie's so bad. But what's great is we banged so many amazing interviews since December. Jamie's been getting so many great people, and next we have the next thing we're going to be covering is Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. Wow, probably one of our best sequels that we're going to cover. I've never seen it. I've seen the first 2 or 3 of these movies.
I
And
saw it
it's
a
not
long
like I
time ago.
don't like them.
They're all good. So like,
Yeah.
you know, like, I mean, to go from this movie to go to like I almost feel like we're wasting a good movie right now. Like, you know, because it's too good, right? I mean, like compared, I don't remember it, but I mean, it's gonna be up there with Die Hard 2. You know, I mean, Die
Yeah.
Hard 2 was a great movie, so it's gonna be, you know, it's gonna be up there.
Should be a lot of fun. And forward, I chatted with somebody that a director, writer, actor, hilarious dude. I had so much fun chatting with him, David Codeglia. And we talked about his career, and it was really cool. He has a twin, and his twin is a cinematographer. He's the director, so they have this perfect connection. And their dad worked at, I believe it was Hewlett Packard. And so they would be able to bring home all these awesome cameras. Like when they were getting old at the office, dad was able to bring it home. So they had that. They had like a Weather Channel, like green screen that they were messing around with. So really cool about his journey. And then recently, something that he's super proud of, he directed a movie called The Breakdown back in 2021. So right after COVID, we talked about, you know, what you learn as a director, because that was his first feature. Because he did a couple shorts and series episodes before that, but that was such a big deal for him. Really cool things I never knew about visual effects. Even my buddy, he's in visual effects for commercials, but just the fact that these guys have to go into a room with the director, like the visual effects, like main director, and they're like, okay, shot 27, you're up. And then you have to show your like 1 or 2 seconds that you worked on for like months. He was telling you about the hair in one of these scenes with Tom Cruise in the movie. And just the fact, it's really cool stories about how that comes to be. But he was a really funny guy. My sense of humor, really silly, stupid, really cool. David was awesome. So yeah. So don't forget to review, rate, share our podcast. Follow us on all social media at Sequels Only. And don't forget to check out our website, sequelsonly.com. Good night.
Good night. Oof.